Greetings and hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Cantina. We do serve your kind here. Hey, I get the question all the time. I literally will get the question all the time. We're doing like 100 roster reviews a month. We're doing a bunch of free roster reviews every month. I'll get a question in a random video that's about nothing, not about roster building, not about, just about like, hey, try this character out. There'll be, somebody will ask me, who should I farm next? Should I farm Jedi Master Luke? Should I farm Leia? Should I farm Lord Vader? And I don't know. I don't have a clue. I have to see your roster, and if I see your roster, we can help you out with that a little bit. We got help on my Discord. Lots of players in this game can help you understand who you should farm next, but I can't tell you in the vacuum of space who you need to farm next on your roster. Every roster is different. Every roster has ins and outs and introductions and characters and whatever. So what we're here today, we're gonna talk about this. This is gonna be 10 tips for you, so you can determine who your next farm should be on your roster, and hope these can help out, help some of you out through the game, and really help you, figure out who your next farm should be. Alrighty, let's get this started. 10 tips for you to help you find your next farm. I'm not going to go through that. We're not going to let's just get this started. Let's start with tip number 10, and ranked in no particular order. But hey, number 10, how about this? Why don't you try doing your own roster review? You've watched me do roster reviews, you watch AP do roster reviews, you watch Sanjita do roster reviews. Lots of other people have reviewed rosters in the past. Take a look at your own roster. Maybe do a little bit of homework there. I did my own roster reviews a few months ago, and I just think it's a good idea to have a good idea of what is on, a good idea to have a good idea of good ideas. We're good people. Take a look at your roster, see what's on there, what's happening, what's going on, what are your goals, etc. You can look at your roster, figure out what's going on. You can look at your mods for sure. You can sort by speed and look at your mods and see if you're any good there. You should have at least, I think that the idea is at least one 300 speed character for every 500,000 galactic power you have. Thank you, Darth Loquitur. Anyway, you can figure this out. Do your own roster review. Look carefully at your roster. When I did it for myself, man, I found some stuff in there, including some stuff we'll talk about here in a minute, like low-hanging fruit. Look for low-hanging fruit. On my free-to-play account, this happened. I had just announced I was going to be farming Jabba, and I'm moving forward into the Jabba rush, and then I did the roster review for my accounts, and I looked at my account, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like 5 characters away from Sith Eternal Emperor, and I got Sith Eternal Emperor done in a couple of months. And free to play. I was close enough to get Sith Eternal Emperor done in a couple of months free to play. Take a look at your roster. Go for the low-hanging fruit. Have you already achieved part of a journey? Have you already done Gas and Padme? And maybe you've done Bad Batch or still not there for some, or they're already 7-star. Maybe it's time for you to go for Lord Vader. I don't know. Do you have Wat Tambor? Can you look at what's maybe you come by, if you got to finish your farm roster, maybe you're looking at your roster and you've got out there sitting, well, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at my Separatist droids right now. Perhaps I'm sitting there with General Grievous at Gear 12 and almost done, and then I've got Droideka, Super Battle Droid, and IG-100 Magna Guard. I need to do some farming on B1, perhaps, but that's kind of low-hanging fruit there for me to get a Grievous team done, to maybe even go after Gas here in this case, and maybe I kind of look at that and say, this, by the way, low-hanging fruit, for those unfamiliar, for those Philistines don't know the meaning of the phrase, it's the idea of you're walking through an orchard, maybe an apple orchard or an orange orchard, I don't care, lemon orchard, and you're grabbing the low-hanging fruit. The stuff you don't need a ladder for is the easy stuff, the stuff that's right there. Now for me, it's a little more low-hanging than it might be for you. I'm just saying, but the low-hanging fruit. What can you just reach up and grab and pull down and have a character there? Well, honestly, if I'm looking at my roster right now, I could farm Shakti and B1, and I would be literally right around the corner from Gas. And then maybe that's something I need to consider on this roster and think about. That's not exactly low-hanging fruit for me here, but it's pretty close. I mean, I've already got C-3PO, General Kenobi, and Ahsoka relic, and Padme's Gear 12, and I got Grievous up there to go up my droids if I get them relic up. So maybe something. I just discovered something. I literally just discovered something on my roster by doing my own roster review, a quick one, and by looking for low-hanging fruit. Perhaps Gas is low-hanging fruit on this roster. With a couple of quick farms, I can get Gas here in the near future. How about this? What do you love? What or who do you love in the Star Wars universe? Is there a character you love? Hey, who do you love in this game? Is there a character with mechanics that you love? I know for me, I really just love Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I think I'm going to love his character to the end of the day. I don't have him on this roster yet, but he's underway. We're working on it. We're getting close. We got our first order ships done. We'll be farming Finalizer very soon. I just love the stacking of mastery. I really enjoy it. It's a blast. I really don't like mechanics where it takes you, it takes a character like just forever and they're just stalling and stalling and stalling for a big hit. I kind of view Jedi Master Kenobi that way. Stall, 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 big hit. I mean, Jedi Master Luke is fine, but he just kind of passes the work off to to Jedi Knight Luke mostly. Rey is great. I love Rey with her one-time big huge damage burst, either with her ultimate or her spinning blade. I love Kylo. I just like to do a lot of damage. I like to come out there, bang on somebody, really crush their skull, and that's what I enjoy about games. So I really like Supreme Leader Kylo. And what do you love? What do you love in the game? What do you love in the movies? What's your character? Maybe you should be farming that if it's something you haven't really thought about yet. Hey, what does your guild need? There's another one. Your guild might be looking at getting Inquisitors if they're doing Rise of the Empire territory battles, or maybe they're thinking about doing Rise of the Empire territory battles, but they don't feel they have enough Inquisitors because they want to make sure they can get Revis shards out of it. I don't know if I'd wait for that if you're a guild, but whatever. Maybe you're in a guild that's doing Geonosis territory battles and you need to get your Geos up for your guild. Maybe you need to get some characters up for platoons in Rise of the Empire, and that's why not on this account. No, on my other account, I don't have it up here, but I have a Relic 7 low gray on that account. I also have a Relic 5 Lobot. Well, okay, that's for Leia now. But on my other account, where I don't have Leia, I have a Relic 5 Lobot. That was done just for my guild to have Rise of the Empire territory battles platoons available. What does your guild need? Are there certain teams that are farming for territory wars to make the guild better? I remember back in the day. I distinctly remember farming an Old Republic squad with Enfys Nest and Vandor Chewie. I think it was Karth. I don't remember now, but yeah, I remember farming that team for territory wars specifically because they're a really good team and would help there. What does your guild need? That's one way to look at what you need to farm next. Hey, what team is crushing you in Grand Arena? We all love to play Grand Arena. We all go in there. I got some great advice from somebody on a voice chat recently. On my roster review streams, we do voice chats with our players. If you haven't watched those, jump on there and join us. But hey, he mentioned what I tried to do in Grand Arena was as a new player, I went out and I played, and when I found a team that I couldn't get through and it was a defensive stalwart, I went and farmed that team, and I got that team on my roster. So now I've got the defensive bulwark. I've got the defensive wall, the defensive. I got defense. So he went out and farmed the teams that he couldn't beat in Grand Arena and made them part of his roster. So maybe that's a consideration. What team is actually just crushing your soul in Grand Arena and you can't get through it? Maybe you should put that team on your team. I mean, it just makes all the sense in the world, right? Hey, what are your long-term goals? Let him pull it up. What are your long-term goals? What are you looking to do in the game? Are you wanting to farm Galactic Legends? I saw an account that refused to farm Galactic Legends. Their long-term goals were to find all the counters for Galactic Legends, do everything in the game except Galactic Legends, which I think could be a lot of fun. I really think that could be a ton of fun. Yeah, you won't be in Kyber 1 anytime soon, but you can certainly challenge your very own theory crafting and gaming and everything else. Maybe your goal is right now you're working on Kylo and Rey because they came with Lightspeed bundles. Your long-term goal is to get to Jedi Master Kenobi, and maybe you're sitting there, you don't have Wat Tambor, but your guild is getting 30 shards a month. You've got to have long-term goals in this game. Really have something that's out on the horizon for yourself to really consider what you might be doing down the road. So what are your long-term goals, and how do those play into your short-term goals? If your long-term goal is to get Jedi Master Kenobi, maybe you need to go get Grandmaster Yoda and get him reliced up and use him. You can use him with your Jedi Knight Revan team in the meantime, but you've got to have him relic 8 for that Jedi Master Kenobi farm. Maybe you need to get your Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron with Anakin up and running. What are your long-term goals in Galaxy of Heroes? And that's definitely a consideration as well. Are you a Lightspeed bundle purchaser? If you're buying Lightspeed bundles, it's going to make a difference in your farm. It'll impact your farms. And we're going to talk about this in the coming weeks and months. And next time a Lightspeed bundle comes out, I've got a lot to say about that. Because now that it'll be our third time through, we can really start to think about what the farming looks like, where we go, left, right, up there, hither, and yon. And if you're a Lightspeed bundle purchaser, if you're buying Lightspeed bundles, that's going to have a tremendous impact on your roster. And you really need to think about stuff that you can farm that may not be in a future or near-term Lightspeed bundle. You know, the reason I got Jedi Master Luke on here, the reason I've got Star Killer, the reason I'm farming Rey tickets right now, and the reason I'm almost about to farm Kylo tickets as well is all because of Lightspeed bundles and no other reason. So you've got to think about that. What might be the next Lightspeed bundle? I kind of think maybe an Executor is going to be there. They kind of did a half Executor with the Finalizer. Maybe they'll finish off the Executor here with the next Lightspeed bundle and give us something else to queue in the future, or a character out there on their own. More stuff is going to be coming. I guarantee these Lightspeed bundles have been a huge kick in the rear in a positive way for this game, and maybe that's a kick in the teeth. No, kicking the teeth is worse. Yeah, a nice little pop in the rear for the game. Say, hey! And we talked to people that have actually come back and played after long hiatuses, and they've come back and played the game, and now they're playing. These Lightspeed bundles make a difference. Think about that, and let's talk about what might be in the future. And again, the next time Lightspeed bundles are announced, I'm going to have more to say about what you might want to farm with a Lightspeed bundle. But you want to farm stuff that's not, going to be there out in the near future. I've really been turning to Inquisitors. I think Inquisitors are a really big deal farm and really would fit into a lot of Lightspeed bundle farmers out there. How about assault battles? Speaking of Inquisitors, do you have teams put together for assault battles and events? Do you have your Inquisitors for 2 assault battles a month? Do you have your Sith put together for the places of, I can't get them right. I'm not going to get it right. The Jedi Assault, there's I think 7 assault battles a month. You need, Rebels, Night Sisters, maybe Phoenix for both of those. Go take a look at that. Look at those assault battles. How about Smuggler's Run 2 with Jabba? You're getting a lot of great mod material and other stuff there with Smuggler's Run. Do you have stuff for all the events, assault battles, etc. in the game? Leia Organa gives you that extra Endor event every month, which is kind of okay. It's not great. It's just okay. But do you have those teams? And do you want to make sure you have the teams available for all those? Maybe Night Sisters in the offing for you. Maybe you're tired of running Phoenix to get through challenge tier 2 of the Secrets and Shadows assault battle. You want to get all the way through it. Go farm yourself a Marin, get your Night Sisters out there, and go through tier 3 of that at 3-star and just start autoing it every month for these assault battles. Assault battles are really important. They can make a big difference on your roster, and maybe you need to take a look at that. Maybe I need to take a look at that on my Nooch2 Hyper account here for sure. What about Fleet Arena? How is Fleet Arena going for you? This one maybe should have been at the top. I don't know. I'm not in no particular order. Are you performing in Fleet Arena right now? Are you at the top? Are you at the bottom? Are you in the middle? Can you not climb over the people ahead of you, behind you, etc.? What is going on in your Fleet Arena at the moment? What is this? What is this a what is something's there? Oh, dang it. Anyway, all right. Anyway, what is going on in Fleet Arena? If you can't climb to the top of Fleet Arena, maybe it's time to look at farming a fleet. Maybe it's time to put together, you see at the top of your Fleet Arena right now, there's like 3 Executors, but that's it. And then other than that, it's Thrawn and stuff. Maybe you need to start farming the Executor. Maybe you need to farm the Chimera and really get a counter to some of these fleets as well. Although you need side to do that. It's down the road. You got to have Inquisitors. Maybe you want to go get a Profundity, or you want to put some cash in the bank and go get yourself a Leviathan. Who is hanging out at the top of your Fleet Arena? Are you earning crystals every day from Fleet Arena, or are you not? Maybe it's time to prioritize that next fleet for yourself. And that's why Fleet Arena can help you determine what your next farm will be. And our final one here today, and again, this isn't ranked in any order. Really think about this. Do you really need a GL counter out there? Are there some counters out there? Is Fennec Shand out there as a bounty hunter? Treya counters a bunch of Galactic Legends for me, or at least picks off the sides a little bit. Other teams that might counter a Galactic Legend. Do you need some of these on your roster? Jedi Knight Revan with I think it was Jedi Knight Luke, can counter Supreme Leader Kylo in certain situations. And always, mods matter, datacrons matter, I get it. But is there a specific team? Maybe you don't always want to be farming a Galactic Legend. Maybe you want to farm the counters for Galactic Legends to make something better on your roster. And these are my top 10 tips for you. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know ideas that you have that maybe I glossed over, or something I'm missing. Is there some big idea I'm missing that might help you determine your next farm on your roster? The main thing is, guys, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, you are the one that is the most familiar with your roster above anybody else. You know it backwards and forwards. We don't. I don't. If I do a roster review, I'll get to know it, but I still don't know your motivations, your joys, what you're enjoying in the game, what you're really thinking about. I can tell you what's out there mechanically, but as far as your emotions, it's really up to you, boys and girls. So take a look at your roster, look for some low-hanging fruit, think about what your guild needs, and try to figure out what your next farm will be in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon, and always remember, Nooch too good.